Bob and Dave.
Okay, so you had a bad week, dude. Holy
Did
shit.
I? So, all right,
Yeah, you had. Well, I guess I can just tell you on the pod, but
all right, cool. But you're added
yeah,
up,
yeah, we're added up and good to go.
ready to rock. All right, three, two, one. Hello and welcome back to Chalk Talk with Chuck and Jalen. Week 10 of the NFL preview with a little bit of a Week 9 recap. Jalen, how are you doing?
I'm so great. I just got to watch my King Lamar
Yeah, that
dominate
was an
again.
incredible.
Well, not really dominate, but he played great.
Yeah, it's November 7th. It's Thursday. We're coming at you a little later than we usually do. Just wrapped up the Thursday night game, watched the first half at Jalen's, second half at my place, and that's probably one of the better, more exciting games of the season. Definitely the best Thursday night game, would you say?
It's not even close. That was probably a top three game that we've watched this year, I think.
Yeah, no, that was awesome. And it had all the dramatics. The AFC North is sort of kicking off what you could call division play. I know these two teams played early in the season, but this is the start of a run of a bunch of AFC North teams playing each other, and that was awesome. Jamar Chase was insane.
Yeah, I think you should share how many fantasy points he got you.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to caveat this. I'm the commissioner of a keeper fantasy league. In the keeper league, true fantasy heads out there are going to appreciate this. You get a half a point per reception and a half a point per first down. So the scoring's a little bit inflated, but it's not that much more than a PPR league. Um, Jamar Chase had me 55 points tonight. I also had Mark Andrews who had me 17 points. In total, I have something like 73 points. Um, my opponent had five of his nine guys play, and he only put up 44 points. So I'm winning by 30 points, and I still have the majority of my team to play. It was probably one of the best fantasy nights of my life, especially for my keeper league. I'm very stoked right now.
Yeah, happy for you. Jamar was crazy tonight.
Yeah, Jamar was crazy. Joe Burrow. I would love to know how many quarterbacks have thrown. What did Joe Burrow end up throwing? 57 pass attempts.
Something
Um,
like that. I think like 10 of them had to have been to Chase Brown for like, I mean, they were basically running the ball with like 1 yard passes
yeah, he threw
for a lot of
56
those, but
passes, four touchdowns, for 422 yards. But I have to say, it's remarkable that he didn't throw an interception on 56 attempts.
yeah, it's crazy. I mean, he's an incredible QB. I'm starting to feel bad for the Bengals a little bit. Can't believe those words came
Yeah,
out of my mouth, but it's kind of sad to just see him choke away these games.
dude, it's sad because I think they're actually a pretty good team. I mean, they
They
play
definitely are.
good teams well. They lost to the Chiefs by a point. They lost to the Commanders by a score. They lost to the Ravens by 3 points. They lost to the Ravens by a point. I mean, two of those games go the other way. It's a different. I mean, it's just sad, and I want to see them in the playoffs. And I don't think that they're out of the race for the playoffs yet, but it's a real uphill battle. Jamar Chase had 264 yards and three touchdowns. That's insane.
Yeah, it's so crazy that one guy can do that to a defense, and like you obviously don't see it very often, but it feels like it's always Jamar Chase that pulls out these games like this.
Yeah, he's consistently the guy. It was a great game. I thought that was what I really do feel like when you get to watch a game like that. It's so rare that it's the national game. Games like that are usually games that butt up against other things. It's so rare that it's a non-playoff regular season, especially Thursday night game that ends up being that good and also is that consequential. It's a consequential game.
Oh yeah, this game is. I mean, this is a, a crucial game for the Bengals and honestly the Ravens too. Not as much, but this game mattered a
Yeah,
lot for both teams. And I always like these divisional matchups because they're not quite as good as the playoffs, but they feel similar in a lot of ways.
for sure. And should we tell the people at least what we picked for this game? Jalen texted me. I picked the Ravens to win, the Bengals to cover. I got that, and you picked Ravens win, Ravens cover.
Yeah, because of like 13 penalties on the
Yeah,
last drive. That was awesome. Um, but yeah.
the officiating's so bad.
I just think the Ravens defense is bad, but
The Ravens
yeah,
defense is
there are
bad.
a few missed calls. The NFL really needs to. Maybe I should just add that to my hate list for this week. They really need to pay attention to face masks more and like contact to the helmet.
Yeah, they got to clean that shit up. It's just bad, and it's
It's so
inconsistent,
bad.
and it seems like it's always the team that. It, I'm just gonna say it. It feels like the only team that's getting these calls consistently is the Chiefs.
I was gonna say like watching that last drive because the Bengals got a lot of calls on that last drive, but specifically that those like last two or three plays, like where they
Hmm.
were in the red zone. I was like, damn, I wonder if Patrick Mahomes would have got this like roughing the passer or if like can you imagine if they held Kelsey like that?
No, I mean
Like
there'd be a flag. There'd be a flag.
yeah, 100%.
There'd be a flag. And it's sad that that's the reality, but and look, is it crazy to say that there'd be a flag on the best receiver on that? If Jamar Chase gets held like that because he's on the inside, he probably gets the flag. You know,
Probably.
um, so it doesn't help that it's Mike Gesicki and it's not Travis Kelsey, but that's not how the game should be officiated. Um, is what it is. But great game, and I don't want to, I don't want to ever take away from a game that's that good by complaining about the
No,
refs. I mean,
like especially on a Thursday because we get so many. Well,
so many bad Thursday games.
yeah, there's good ones too, but it's like I mean, it's a shot in the dark if you're gonna get like a
Yeah,
really good game or you're gonna get like
a shit game.
17 to 12.
Right.
And it's also not often we have like great teams playing on Thursday either. Like they're usually
No,
slotting in the Giants, the Patriots, the Bears. No, honestly, if they probably would slot in the Jets on Thursday night and Sunday night if they could.
dude. The amount of times that the Jets have been on national TV is a disgrace to football. They have a bye week this week. Thank Christ. No, they don't. No, they played Arizona. Never mind. It's the Giant.
Yeah.
Green Bay who has a bye. That's the green team that has a bye. Well, do you want to jump into your hate list for the week? I know you have an addition.
I do have one addition, and
Yeah.
this is kind of I've been monitoring this all year because I've been watching the Bears, and it wasn't really too much of an issue, and I actually was kind of siding with this player at the start.
Yeah.
Um, DJ Moore has been pretty frustrated all season with Caleb Williams, and this last week he decided in the middle of the play he was just going to walk off the field, which I thought
Yeah, I
was
don't like that.
one of the lamest things I've seen. And I just kind of want like going back because, like I said, like everybody kind of saw it in the first couple weeks. He seemed like he was throwing hands up, like just getting
Yeah, yeah.
frustrated with Caleb. And it's kind of like, well, dude, what did you expect? Like this is a rookie QB. Like you knew what you signed up for. I don't know why you thought you would just be catching perfect passes all the time. Like you knew this was going to be a process, and to act like that, I didn't like it at all.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I also think that it's compounded with the fact that look, the Bears have lost some really bad games this year to lose. Um, I don't think that anybody's down with the coaching staff, but I also agree with you. You can't quit on you can't quit on a rookie quarterback like that. It's not fair. And it's lame, and I'm sorry that it's not going great for you, DJ, but he's a rookie quarterback. This is going to take time. This isn't going to be easy. There's nothing easy about being wide receiver one with a rookie quarterback in Chicago with Matt Eberflus. Like that's just what it is. And I know vibes are bad, but grow up. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I feel like you can bond as players and like you can create a separate bond with players and leave the coach out of it. So I don't want to
Right.
use like the in my opinion, I don't think it should be like a well the offense sucks because of Matt Eberflus, so like that's playing into DJ's frustrations, which yeah, it might be, but you don't have control over that. You do have control over your relationship with Caleb Williams though.
For sure. That's a great point. And you do
And
and as the senior member of that receiving core, you're supposed to be setting the tone.
yeah, I mean,
I guess Keenan Allen's there, but
oh, is he there?
he's
I,
washed.
I forgot he was
That's
there. I
dude,
was just gonna say
low key.
like a perfect example of someone, and it's worked out great, obviously, so it's easier. But Harry McLaurin, I don't think he
Right.
would ever do this.
No, dude, the guy's had like he's been that's dude. And I'm not saying that DJ Moore's been in quarterback heaven his whole career, but like
No.
as bad as it's been for DJ Moore, I promise it's been worse for Terry McLaurin.
Yep.
And he's just having fun. It's tough. It's tough when and it's got to be tough for the Bears to go out and watch the Commanders have so much fun. Um,
Yeah.
that sucks. Just
Yeah. Do you
remember
have anything for
Chicago.
yours?
Yeah. Yeah, sure do. Yeah, flags. That takeaway touchdowns is an addition that I have this week. You had this a little bit ago. Um,
Great.
it's the irrelevant flags that are taking away touchdowns that are pissing me off. This goes, I know that we just talked about refs not paying attention and not throwing flags on plays. I don't know how they also are managing to throw flags for things that don't impact the play, that take points off the board, that seem really tic tac. Um, and it's all the time. And it's always on these like fun scoring plays or scoring plays with guys on my fantasy team. I know that I have nothing to do with this, but it feels like it's always one of these guys that I'm cheering for, or a guy on my fantasy team, or in a game that I care about. That touchdown is scored, everyone's celebrating. You see the flag on the field, you know it's coming back. They show the replay, the guy's not involved, or the you barely see it, and the broadcasters are like, of all things, you're calling that, and then we just move on. And this is such a problem with the NFL. I don't know if they're not allowed to criticize these guys too harsh on air. I don't know if they're allowed to show replay. I don't know if the NFL is telling them to stop showing the replay of the awful missed call or the awful call that takes it back. But there's no accountability with the refs. They're part-time employees. They need to start paying these guys full-time employees, giving them a salary, giving them health care, giving them whatever, and putting them through year-long programming. Because the fact that these guys are part-time employees of the NFL is such garbage because there's so much money involved in this sport, especially from a gambling standpoint. And taking points off the boards for shit like that they have been doing lately is too much for me and it's driving me nuts.
Yeah, dude, it's like a run up the right side, and the receiver that's lined up clear on the
Right.
left is like holding one of the DBs who's 30 yards away from the play, and the whole play
Who
comes back.
who's like who thinks that it's a pass play for half the play, by the way. Like the
Yeah.
DB's not making a play on this, dude. And the rest like, well, he held him. Like, great, man. Awesome. Guess what? The guy's been in the end zone. The guy's crossing the goal line. The guy's holding.
Yeah, to me, I think they should take the approach of kind of how the NBA treats free throw violations. They just
Yeah.
don't call them unless it's like extremely bad and it impacts the play. But I don't know,
Right.
stuff like these holds that are happening, like you said, they're just so far away from the play, and it's like, dude, it never mattered.
Some of them are like 5 yards behind the play, especially on like QB sneaks, where like a QB will
Yeah.
climb the entirety of the pocket, get out of the pocket. He'll be at the first down line. And then this flag comes out, and you look back, and it's like, well, he did hold him all the way back here when the quarterback's gone. It's like there has to be some discretion in that portion, but I hesitate to give refs discretion in the NFL because they will abuse it with the Chiefs. I'm so I'm so scared of what the NFL's willing to do with ref discretion in the Chiefs. It's crazy. It's crazy to
Dude,
me.
yeah, the playoffs should be really fun this year.
Oh, the hip drop, dude. What? When do you think we'll see our first hip drop? Divisional round, Chiefs, last fourth quarter of the game.
That's
That'll be
a
our
good
first hip drop.
question.
Oh,
I was more thinking like how many illegal formations are we going to see on the teams playing
oh,
the Chiefs?
dude. And how many times are the Chiefs also going to line up in that formation so that I have to watch the opposing fans' team go off on Twitter about it?
Yeah.
It's actually
Yeah.
kind of glaring. Like, I know that that penalty is like a very easy thing to be like, oh, that's just a fan taking screenshots. It's fairly glaring how often the Chiefs are doing this and getting away with it when the team that is playing the Chiefs is getting called for it during the same game.
Yeah.
Um, I- you know, I, it's such a nuanced rule that lay fans aren't going to care and they don't understand it and they're not trying to learn to understand it. But the NFL, it's like pretty obvious that they want this Chiefs thing to work out.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, man, they signed a deal with the devil
yeah,
because
well,
Kareem Hunt and DeAndre Hopkins are just,
oh,
all pro players again.
can
So,
can I say something really quickly? Because
yeah.
you know what? Fuck it. I'm so pissed off about this. If I have to watch Patrick Mahomes get like carted off the field again in the most dramatic fashion, with like the most with like 80 angles of his ankle and everyone thinking that he's out for the season, only to see him jogging on the sideline 30 seconds later, I'm going to flip out. I'm not cheering for Mahomes to get hurt. When it happened, I text you, oh, fuck, this sucks. But what the fuck, man? Like, this guy's such a diva and he loves the spotlight. And you are joking if you're pretending that this guy doesn't love being in the spotlight.
Oh, he does. And, I just, like, you don't need to get carted off for an ankle injury. Then, like, after the game, he's like, oh, yeah, tweaked my ankle. I was like, dude, I thought you, I thought you tore your entire leg. Like,
Yeah. The way that the
just
amount of time
tweaked
that
your
it took to
ankle.
get you across the field for your tweaked ankle is insane.
Yeah, it was so dramatic too. I was like, "Oh my God, the Chiefs are done."
Oh, I thought for
30
sure we were
seconds
getting
later,
Carson Wentz for the rest of the season. 30 seconds later, they're like, and Patrick Mahomes is running on the sideline. I'm like, we were just at the commercial for the injury.
yeah,
So
yeah,
bad.
it's tough. It's tough for sure.
The Chiefs are already on the hate list, so I can't do anything about it, but I can't stand that team.
Yeah, they're
Um,
permanent.
I don't really have any basement tapes, although I will say I watch these games with my mom, and I love my mom, and I don't know if she's listening. If she is, hey mom, but you got to pay attention to what's going on in the game, and then not ask me exactly what had just happened in the play, and then ask me three more times because it's driving me nuts. Love you.
Uh,
Care about you. My dad does the same thing. Dude, my dad spent, oh, this is so funny from my dad today, dude. It's funny for my mom too, because my mom will be like, "Well, did he like you know how Jamar Chase stopped at the goal line and didn't cross because Lamar did it the play before or whatever?" My mom's
yeah,
like, "Well, he
yeah.
never crossed. He never." I'm like, "Mom, he crossed. Okay, he crossed the goal. Like he's taunting. Like she's like, "Well, he didn't cross. I didn't see him do it. I don't know what's going on." I'm like, it's not that complicated." My dad, dude, my dad spent the last quarter and a half of this game not admiring the play, but being in complete shock and awe that Lamar Jackson plays with a grill.
Oh yeah, yeah. He does.
Like Lamar's got like the gold teeth. My dad's like, Ch- Charlie, what is he's got a grill in? That's got to be dangerous. I'm like, dude, what? And dude, I, I'm not joking. He spent the last quarter. The Bengals had just scored and they were maybe going for it for on to go for two. And I'm walking back in the kitchen. My dad's going, "He's got a grill in, Charlie. Grill." I'm like, dude, got bigger shit going on.
Dude, wait until he finds out that Justin Jefferson has diamonds in his teeth.
Oh, he's bothered by that too. Don't worry.
Yeah.
He asked me. That was the first thing he asked me. He goes, "Does Lamar have diamonds in his teeth? Is he one of these diamond people?" I'm like, what? He's like, they get diamonds implanted in their teeth. Who does that? I'm like, no, dude, Lamar Jackson playing with a full golden grill in his mouth, man. He's not out of diamond.
I think it's so cool. I can't even
It's
lie. I think it
sick,
looks
dude.
so
It's
cool.
so dope, man. I
I
want
love
diamonds.
that these players can like wear jewelry in the game too. It's so cool.
Oh, dude, nothing drives my dad crazier.
I bet.
He's like, dude, that chain is huge. He talks about that all the time, dude.
You're like, yeah, that's the
Talks.
point, Dad.
Yeah, I'm like,
That's the
yeah,
whole
dude.
point.
And you know what? They're all diamonds, all of them. And he goes, who would play with that on? What the fuck? He's all freaked out.
Your your impression is so funny.
It's spot on, I promise. It's like, oh, I'm like, dude, what's going on? I told him, I said, Dad, I don't know what to tell you because it surprises me you're surprised that he plays with a grill.
Yeah, he's
Like he
definitely
just
not the only one.
no, dude. It's like all these guys are playing with chains, a grill, earrings. They got diamonds in their teeth. Like it's totally normal. But my dad, dude, he doesn't get it. When I was a kid, my dad was like, "You should wear black cleats. That's the only color you should ever wear. That's it. It looks so sharp." He's such a Steelers, like old Steelers fan, dude. My dad like loves a Greg Popovich mentality.
Jack Lambert used to wear cleats like this.
Yeah, dude. No, exactly. He's like, Lynn Swan scored touchdowns. He gave the ball to the ref.
I love people like this.
It's my dad, dude. He's like Heinz Ward used to celebrate when he scored touchdowns. It's too much, dude. It's too flashy. Stop. It's ridiculous.
Think it's just a dad thing because my dad does this with NBA players all the time.
Oh, dude. You should see my dad grade NBA player tattoos.
There's some bad ones for sure.
That Richard Jefferson one that his kids drew, the RJ one. My dad said, "Yeah, I like the paintings you and your brother made for me. I didn't put them on my fucking arm."
Uh, so
It's
good.
classic. It's so funny. All right, dude. That's a little bit of that's the basement tapes, dude. My parents are just watching football with them is a trip. Um, what's the score to the spread thing? You said I had a really bad week, right?
Yeah, I didn't have a great week though. So
Okay.
you only had 14 points
Holy
last week.
balls.
I only had 18, but that put me
Okay.
back in the lead by 2. And then we factor this Ravens Bengals game in. I have a 1 point lead. Well, it's very
So
close.
yeah, so you're up what, 131 to 130?
130 to 129.
129.
Yep.
All right.
Oh wait, no. It
No,
should be
131 to 129, right? Or 131 to 130.
yes.
Because I got 2 points, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't grabbing this whole formula.
Yeah. Um, all right. Well, let's jump into it, dude, because the first game we get to talk about is a game that we're not going to talk very long about because it is being played in Munich. It is Giants Panthers. Panthers coming off of a win against the Saints. Um, congrats to Bryce Young. I feel awful for you, bud. Giants coming off of another loss, a division loss. This game's being played in Munich. Uh, the spread is 6.5 points. The over under is 40.5. The Giants are favored 6.5. I think it's crazy. I do think the Giants are going to win. But
Yeah.
I think the Panthers might cover 6.5. Uh, it's so hard because these games overseas, it's for an over under that's set at 40, and to think that a team's going to win by more than a touchdown seems crazy to me. So I'm going to take the Giants to win, the Panthers to cover.
Dude, I hate picking these games so much.
I do too. It's so bad. They're terrible.
They're they're so bad. Like, oh, shout out Chuba for the contract too.
Yeah,
Congrats.
congrats, Chuba Hubbard. You deserve it,
Well
buddy.
deserved. He's a very underrated player. He's on my fantasy team, so obviously I've been locked in on Panthers football all year.
Hey, beat
Um,
the drum or whatever it is. Keep pounding.
yeah, I'm gonna take the Giants and the Panthers 6.5, dude, just so I can guarantee myself 1 point out of this.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm thinking too.
Because
It's
I
like
have no idea. This is a
it's a bad
this is a
game.
what does Bill call it? A poop fecta?
Yeah, that's a poop. That's he calls that like diarrhea fecta. That's so bad.
Oh yeah, it's on at
Uh,
what 7:30 in the morning too.
oh yeah, to like a little bit of shit on top of shit here. We've got this game in Munich at 7:30 in the morning, but that's what you get if you start World War II, Germany. Uh
And you get MGK at halftime.
oh, sick. Yeah, dude. Nothing like
Yeah,
an MGK performance to get the juices flowing.
absolute cinema.
Next game is it's a little bit more interesting than it gets credit for, I think, actually. Two rookie quarterbacks going at it, the 1 and 3 pick. Patriots in Chicago. The Patriots coming off of an overtime loss, which is the exact type of loss I think the Patriots want to have.
Yep.
Bears coming off of a miserable loss, and the team looks lost and like they've given up. The over under is 38.5. The Bears are 6.5 point favorites. I think that this is yet again another big spread for a team that I think is going to win. I'm going to take the Pats to cover and the Bears to win.
Okay. Um, how many games have the Bears lost in a row now?
Great question.
Is it
It's
4
like
or 5?
3 or 4. Oh no, they've only lost
Oh,
two in a row. But
yeah, they
Cardinals
beat the
loss is so
Jags,
bad.
beat the Panthers, they beat the Rams, beat the Titans. I think I'm gonna take the Bears to cover this.
Okay. I don't think that that's a bad
I
take at
don't know.
all.
I think something's gotta. I don't think this team is as bad as they've looked the last 2 weeks, and I don't have a ton of faith in the Patriots. But well, I don't have a ton of faith in either of these teams. But you know,
Yeah.
whatever. We'll take it.
All right, next game. This is I love this game. I actually think it'll be a little bit better than it's projected just because I don't think the Bills are capable of putting anything away yet again. It's another season where the Bills look like they can't really shove things away into a game. Bills are on the road facing the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts looked so bad against you guys last week, and the Bills look not great in a win against the Dolphins, but they looked all right. Um, Bills are 3.5 point favorites. The over under set at 47.5. I don't know. What are you thinking?
I'm taking the Bills. I feel
Nice.
comfortable at 3.5. Also,
Yeah.
this team can really like pour it on if they get going, and you know, I just think Josh can do a lot more than Sam Darnold can, and we still won by 8. So,
Right.
yeah, I like the Bills here. I like
Yeah,
the cover.
I'm right there with you. My notes for this were I think Flacco will be better, but I just don't see a world where Josh doesn't win this game and cover and
Yeah, I hope Flacco looks better. That was tough to watch. My man, uh, get killed like that. I mean, it was great because you know my team
because
won.
it's your
We
guys. Yeah.
dominated him, but I love seeing Flacco play well, and I don't want the Colts to have to go back to Anthony Richardson yet.
No, and so it's funny because if the Colts win this, then they're, 2 games up on the Bengal or a game up on the Bengals. 2 games up? 2 games up on the Bengals for the wild card spot. They'll be 5-5. The Bengals or no, they'll be 5-5. Bengals will be 4-6. So it'll be a game up. Um, I'm not good at that kind of math. And it's a big spot for the Colts, and I feel like they are going to lose, which leaves that final wild card spot wide open. But it's got to be a good one from Flacco, or else things get really weird because it's like, why are we playing bad Flacco if we could be playing bad Richardson and seeing if he can develop?
Yeah, you know what's so weird? The Colts have a really weird win too. Like it's still surprising that they beat you guys in week 4.
Yeah, that win is that felt like a Flacco surprise win.
Yeah, like no plan for it, obviously,
No
because
plan for it.
yeah,
Steelers look so flat. And oddly, I think it's Justin Fields' best game as a Steeler. He had 2 touchdowns on the floor. He had one through the air. He threw 34 passes without a pick. He was 22 for 34 for 312 yards. I mean, it was like it was just the defense looked like they did not plan to play Joe Flacco. It was really
yeah,
weird. I mean, if you look, the Steelers played better in almost every statistical category. You're right. It's a shocking win. So,
yeah. There's always a few of those though.
yeah, it's the NFL.
It's hard to win in this league.
Hard to win. Uh, I know last week you didn't want to do this, but this week I'm making you do it. You want to intro this next game?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, dude. Vikings
Oh,
Jaguars in Jacksonville. I'm so sad because I don't think Trevor Lawrence is gonna play, and I wanted to
I know.
dominate the shit out of him.
I know.
Um, but I get Mac Jones instead. I guess like I assume that Lawrence is out because I've been watching this line all week and it opened at 4 or 4.5 and now it's 7.
Yeah.
44.5 over under. Um, Mac Jones, Trevor Lawrence. they can bring back Blake Bortles. I'm taking the Vikings, and I'm taking them to cover.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, and I also think I'm taking the under. I don't know
The
if
under. Okay.
I don't know if Mac Jones is going to score more than 6 points in this game.
That's what I was thinking too, but I just get worried in those types of matchups because, you get I know it's rare, but like if you get one, maybe two defensive touchdowns and there's just like a ton of turnovers and the ball's getting turned over in the
Yeah.
like near the red zone, it's just like sometimes the team that's forcing all the turnovers can just put up a bunch of points, like kind of like the Lions did to the Titans. But uh, yeah, I like the pick. I'm not gonna do it, but
Yeah.
I like
I
it.
just like
44 and a half.
you guys might go up 14 nothing and then this game's just over. You guys end up winning like 28-3.
Yeah, and then Cam Akers is getting 18 carries.
Right. You know,
TJ Hawkinson's got 2 touchdowns. Just kind of a weird game. Like,
just an ugly, not ugly, but like just piss from the Jaguars.
I hope so, man. This Jaguars team, like they're bad, but they've surprised me a couple times this year.
They've had weird games. Yeah. No, I mean, they weren't even awful last week. It was just, I don't know. I mean, of course Lawrence throws a pick there.
Yeah, they got pretty lucky with the offensive scoop and score, but you know, it's so annoying. Like when teams get up by a lot and they feel like they're in complete control of the game, and then it just flips because the other team goes into what I like to call "fuck it" mode,
Oh,
and they just
right.
they just like there's no pressure, so they start playing really well. It's just a bad spot to be in sometimes.
100%. 100%. One sec, Jay. I got to check something here. Something's going on with my computer. Try to get this on the beat minute too so that I can wrap it, edit this. 42 minutes. Yeah, I'll cut that up. All right. Next game, dude, I hate this game. Broncos Chiefs. Chiefs are 7.5 point favorites. The over/under is 41.5. The Chiefs find a way to win games that look like they're going to lose way too frequently. And not only that, they're finding ways to cover those games. The defense is so good. The
It's
offense
very
hasn't
good.
even, yeah, and it's so frustrating because the offense doesn't look like they've played a single complete, even like a full 3 quarters of a football game yet. They look like they've played 2.5 good quarters, or just a quarter of good football is enough for them. Or complete football. I think they're kind of always playing good football. I've already complained about Mahomes and the card off thing. That was so annoying. You knew when they won the coin toss in overtime, the game was over. I don't know, maybe if you're Tampa, you go for that, but I also understand not going for it. I think that that's an impossible decision. We saw that decision be called tonight, and it went the wrong way, and then you got to wonder if you went to overtime or you had a chance. I get it. Broncos looked bad last week, right?
Yep.
Um,
Bad
I
against a
mean,
really bad defense too.
right. Their offense looked like they couldn't do a single thing, and that's against a team that just gave up 264 yards and 3 touchdowns to a single receiver. Um,
Yeah.
so for me, it's easy. It's Chiefs. It's Chiefs to cover. It's a walk in the park for these guys, and Part of me wants to take the under at 41.5, but I'm just scared that the Chiefs will score enough points to make sure that that's not a problem. And the Chiefs will let these guys hang around for like 3 quarters for no reason. So I'm going to stay away from it. But Chiefs to cover.
Yeah, it's so annoying because I feel like Vegas knows that the Chiefs don't cover like really big lines. But they open every week with the Chiefs at like 8.5 or 9. Like I think the Tampa line was 9, right? That game went to overtime. It's just like, and then the week before the Raiders cover with the backdoor garbage time score, pretty much.
Yep.
I don't
Yep.
know. The problem with me picking a team to cover against the Chiefs is when they don't, I'm gonna feel so stupid. And I would rather live with just like, oh well, yeah, I picked the Chiefs to cover, obviously. So yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing.
Yeah. And if I'm going to watch the Chiefs and if I'm going to see them fucking backdoor, I'm sorry, I'm dropping a lot of F bombs, freaking backdoor, um, then just going to have to live with it. So.
Yeah,
And I'd rather get points in our competition. So yeah.
sure.
Next game, and also I should say like Broncos are going to be competing with the Chargers for that last playoff spot, and I think it'll actually be a little bit closer than people anticipated. We're going to get to the Chargers here in a little bit, who I think are kind of starting to figure things out. But the Broncos aren't a bad team, and if they won this game, I wouldn't be like blown out of the water surprised. Just
Yeah,
a
the Chiefs are
footnote.
good. They have to lose at some point, maybe. I don't know. Maybe they'll just win every game.
Yeah, this
I'll
doesn't
just
feel like an
want to
undefeated
kill
team to me.
myself, but
It
well,
feels like a
yeah, but
team that will lose.
did it feel like an 8-0 team when Pacheco broke his leg?
No, and when they lost Rasheed Rice, no.
No,
No,
you
but
thought they'd be like 6-3 right now.
right. But at the same time, I don't know. You can't let every team hang around. One of these teams is gonna win by luck. I'm not saying that they're gonna, I think beating the Chiefs at this point is a little bit of luck in it, if not a ton of luck. So,
Fair.
all right, next game. Falcons Saints. We were talking about it earlier in the week. The Falcons are 3.5 point favorites at the Saints now, and earlier in the week I was defending this line. I'm not defending it anymore. It's for me, it's Falcons. It's Falcons by a million. Saints team's a disaster, and this is coming from like the king of the new coach theory, Charlie Moffett. Um, there's nothing inspiring about the Saints. Derek Carr is getting tweeted about. So
Yeah,
bad in New Orleans.
that was so funny. Michael Thomas just like during the game, he just started going off.
How about Chris Olave's brother? Not worth it
Yeah,
if on the Saints. Oh,
yeah. It's. I mean, I don't really know where I fall on this because I don't. I don't really believe that like Derek Carr is just out there trying to get people injured, right?
no. I mean, of course not. Of course
Like
not.
he's like a solid dude, but those are hospital balls. That was a hospital ball that he threw, and now his best receiver's in the hospital. So
Those are bad throws. And
yeah,
watching the Saints for the past couple weeks, really almost all season, since the second week when they, whenever they were scoring 45 points and looked like the fastest show on turf. This has been one of the most miserable, hard to watch teams in the NFL who anybody who has talent who's on that team feels like it's being wasted. And the situation doesn't look like it's going to get any bit better um, in the near future. The trade deadline passed and they got nothing. They didn't do
no, and
anything. You
they
didn't.
actually gave away Marshawn Lattimore too.
That's right. They gave him away.
Yep.
if you're gonna have a fire sale, have a fire sale. Get rid of Kamara, get rid of Lattimore, get rid of Olave, get rid of. I mean, maybe not Olave because he's a rookie. He's still on his rookie contract, but I mean, his brother's publicly tweeting that maybe it's not worth playing for the Saints anymore. I mean, maybe you get rid of him. And I don't know if Olave will play this year. He probably shouldn't. He cracked his
He's,
skull, I think. So
I don't think he's playing this year.
yeah, um, board it up, man. Knock down the house. I don't know why the Saints have such a hard time accepting that that's a reality that they're facing. Um, the reload did not work. It's time to rebuild. Some teams can reload, other teams cannot. And the Saints did not reload, so it's time to rebuild. Bad in New Orleans.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, like, what are you playing Derek Carr for now? Like,
No,
you
I
might as
mean,
well
you got
just
to take.
see what Spencer Rattler has for the rest of the year.
Yeah. And the Dennis Allen thing was just a complete disaster. That was foreseeable. I think Bill Simmons was on top of that before anyone else that I knew. Um,
Yeah, Carr got him
just,
fired twice.
yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's just bad. So,
Yeah, I
and
always feel bad for players like Kamara when they're stuck in places like this, is that he
and
is so damn good at football, and it's being
yeah, and he's
so
still good.
wasted right now. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
very good.
And I don't get me wrong, Kamara had some years that were worth talking about. Like he had some fun times in New Orleans where they were competing for Super Bowls.
Yeah.
But yeah, that sucks, man. It's brutal. And not to stay negative, I think the Falcons have been really fun. I think they're good. I think they're going to win their division. I think Kirk Cousins is the perfect guy to bring into an organization like the Falcons, who have been floundering for a couple of years since Matt Ryan left, to stabilize yourself and to right the ship. And yeah, you know what? No, do I think the Falcons are going to win a Super Bowl? No. I think they'll lose in the wild card round, probably. But you want to know what's great for the Falcons? Making the wild card round,
Yeah,
stable.
welcome aboard. I've been on the Falcons all year, probably because I have just loyalty to Kirk Cousins still. But I don't know, they're a fun team to watch. I do think Drake London might be out this week, but it's okay. They got Darnell Mooney, they got Ray, Kyle Pitts. They're also using Bijan a lot more, like over the last probably 3, 4, 5 weeks, and
Yeah,
he's looking good.
and Pitts has been kind of one of the better tight ends in the NFL. I mean, they're
Yep.
actually using their weapons. That's a lot of fun. Um, and that like what the Cowboys they beat the Cowboys last week, who looked miserable, but they're winning games they're supposed to win, and you can't bash a team who wins games they're supposed to win, and they're gonna
Oh,
lose games they're supposed to lose. That's kind of how I view it. And they're scheduled the rest of the way out. Um, mm, Outside of playing you guys, everything's winnable.
yeah, no,
Like,
I would even say that game's winnable because you know
sure.
there's always some
I mean,
magic in the return to. Is it in Minnesota? Yeah, it
it's in
is.
Minnesota, yeah.
It's gonna be an emotional
But
game for Kirk.
they got at Saints, at Broncos. Those are two should win games. Hosting the Chargers, that'll be tough. At you guys, that'll be tough. Then at Raiders, host Giants. At Commanders, that'll be a loss probably. And then you host the Panthers. If you're the Falcons, you're like, we're gonna win 11 games. Okay,
Yeah, we're 10-7. I think that's. I mean, that'll definitely be good enough to win their division. I think,
for sure, for sure. Because
but
Tampa Bay's got no one left on the roster.
yeah, barring any like serious injury, I think this is a pretty well. It's looking like a pretty successful season for the Falcons.
Yeah, I agree. So I guess we're both taking that easy, huh?
Oh yeah, I mean, I threw money down on this on Monday immediately when I saw it because I thought it was gonna move. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I thought it would be like 5 by now, but guess not. Because people think the Saints are gonna pull something out at home, but we'll see.
We'll have to see. Um, Great. Next game is another game in the NFC South. It's a 49ers versus Buccaneers matchup. The Niners are coming off a bye week. I think maybe one of the most needed bye weeks in the NFL this year.
Yeah.
Um, CMC back. Debo probably back.
Yep.
Niners
Juwan Jennings
offense is
back.
Juan Jennings back. Tampa Bay, God, there's not a team that needs a bye week more in the NFL than this team. They're just down receivers, they're down defensive men. Um, the Niners are favored by 6.5 points. The over under is 55, 50 and 50.5. Can get that one off. Um, yeah, Niners to cover. Part of me wants to take the over because I think that the offense might just explode, but I'm gonna back off of that for now because the Niners defense might be good as well. I think the Bucks are really fun. I don't want to take anything away. I actually thought Baker played really good against the Chiefs, and I thought that the team, for really how little they have, performed really well. It's just this sucks. This is an awful game. You got to play the Chiefs Niners back to back. I don't know who made that schedule for you, but that sucks.
Yeah, I think I texted you on Monday and said something like, "It's so impressive how Baker can still move the ball with this team." And like
I'd
the,
agree.
the players are pretty good, I guess. Like Kate Otton's actually very underrated. I think he's a really good tight end, but no Mike Evans, no Chris Godwin, and he's still able to just move the ball. He's like I'm so happy that Baker's playing so well this year, even with these guys out. I think he's like second in fantasy quarterback scoring this year, which is crazy.
He's been awesome,
Um,
man.
yeah, dude, he's like a lock for 300 yards almost every game. I feel like
Yeah,
even
he's
against the
fun.
Chiefs.
He's second in passing. He's got 2,289 yards. I mean, and even without his guys.
Yeah,
So good for Baker, but really sorry he has to play the Niners after that.
yeah, that's tough, and I think the Niners are going to be like really amped up to have everyone back. There
Yeah,
is a
I also
chance
think
that
they get Hufanga back on defense, which is scary.
yeah, well, the fun thing about the Niners is this game kicks off at 1 p.m. Mountain Time.
Hmm.
You're not gonna know until about 12:15 Mountain Time if any of these guys are playing. Um,
Which
but
has
yeah, I'll.
zero fantasy implications for people, right? Oh, wait. I
Oh
like them to
wait, yeah,
fantasy.
yeah. Oh no, this is 1 p.m. Eastern. My bad, but still, um,
Still,
I'm gonna
not
take the
going to know until.
Niners, and I'm gonna just. This line feels like they probably have everyone back 6.5 on the road.
Yep.
So I'll take them by a touchdown. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it seems about right to me. But good on you, Baker. Keep it up, man. Cheering for you.
game of the day here.
Game of the day. Uh, wow, I'm so excited for this. I can't believe that I don't have to have two TVs because I'm always watching these two teams. My Steelers, coming off of a bye week, are going to FedEx Field out in Landover, Maryland, to play Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders. Love watching the Commanders play football. I am so bummed that I have to cheer against them this week. I thoroughly enjoy Jaden Daniels. I think he's a great player. I love my Steelers. I really like them in this spot. The Steelers are 2.5 point dogs. The over-under's at 44.5. I'm going to take the Steelers to win. That means I'm taking them to cover. I'm also going to take the over. I feel like the Commanders just play in over games. I'm so excited for this. I can't. This is a real test for our defense. This is the first like really good team the Steelers have played, and I want to see how good we are.
Yeah, I love it. I don't know if Brian Robinson is going to be back for this game or not.
Hmm. Yeah,
Um, I think I think he's been out for
he played last
he
week.
definitely was out. No, he was out last week, I thought,
No,
against the Giants. 'Cause
I
that's
saw him
what
out
yeah,
there.
that's what they had Eckler in.
Uh oh, who did I think was? Oh, maybe I got him mixed up with. Huh. Yeah, I wonder if B Rob will be back. I don't know why I thought he was playing. Eckler obviously was eating last week. Interesting that I just completely missed that.
Yeah. I'm gonna take the Commanders. I think
Okay.
they're this is tough going against Tomlin as a dog,
Mm-hmm.
but I think this offense is really good. And I don't think their defense is as bad as it was earlier in the year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean, this game honestly feels like a pick 'em now.
Yeah, it's. I'm surprised that the line is stayed at 2.5. Here's a little stat for you. I know that this doesn't mean much because the Steelers play the Browns twice a year every year. But Mike Tomlin is 25-6 against rookie quarterbacks in his career. Means in the 31 matchups, he's 125. That's an insane record against rookie quarterbacks. I think it's one of the best in NFL history. So it's something to consider, but Jaden Daniels is not a normal rookie quarterback. And again, a lot of those wins are against Browns rookie quarterbacks that don't play in the NFL anymore. That he played
Yeah,
twice.
Josh Rosen type players.
Yeah, Deshaun Kaiser twice 1 year.
Oh wow, that's a name.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean he could dominate. I'm not gonna be shocked if the Steelers win. I just think the Commanders have like I don't know, they're rolling right now. And I
They
feel
look
like they
so
have
good.
like they almost have like a they shouldn't be as confident as they are type of a feel, right?
No,
Like
for sure.
they just keep winning and they're just like, "Oh, this is what we do now." And it's kind of like changed their identity as just I mean, it feels like as an organization right now, but
Yeah, and it's
yeah,
a hats
I'm gonna
off to
ride them
Dan
while they're
Quinn.
hot.
Yeah, and you got to take your hat off to Dan Quinn. His
Absolutely.
disaster program. He walks in and he does this. So,
You got to put
um,
your hat backwards for Dan Quinn, actually.
got to put your hat backwards for Dan Quinn, dude. That's a great T-shirt. Um, yeah, what you say makes sense, and the Commanders do feel like for some reason they're like all-time irrational hot confidence, and it's all because you've got a great quarterback, you've got a great wide receiver core, you've got fun vibes, and your defense is outperforming your expectation, and all of those things are great. And it's really, really hard to pick against and cheer against this team because I I truly do love watching them. I'd lived in DC for so long, and the whole time I lived there, it was Dan Snyder, and everything sucked. Um, and there was no hope. And the year I move is the year that they get Jaden Daniels and everything rocks. But that's okay.
Yeah,
Happy for my Commanders friends.
I feel like another thing about the Commanders is four downs is a possibility every time this offense is
Yeah,
on the field.
yeah.
I mean,
The Eagles
obviously you're not going to
effect.
be going for it like in your own territory that much, but I don't think they're afraid to go for like 4th and 3, 4th and 4 with Jaden Daniels. Like he's shown that he makes good decisions. He hasn't been running as much, obviously, just to like protect himself. I'm sure he's being directed to
Especially since the
not
rib
run
thing.
unless he has to run.
Right.
But yeah, I just like the way this team moves the ball, and I think there's probably gonna be a couple times where they're gonna have to convert on 4th down in this
Mm-hmm.
game. And I like their chances. I mean, Robinson is a great back, but like having Eckler be able to step in as your backup is a huge luxury because I mean they have an entire different look with him as the starter, and I think it's just as good.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything you said is spot on, dude. I mean, I have no. Do you know how hard this is for me right now? Jaden Daniels is kind of becoming my Lamar Jackson to you, by the way.
Oh, I mean, I drafted him. I've been high on him since before the season, man. I love this kid. Well, yeah, I
He's
feel
awesome.
you.
So it's hard.
He's
It's
great.
hard.
So easy to root for too.
Yeah, it just seems like such a great guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so hard for me.
Yeah, this kind of feels like this feels like a game you guys kind of need before you go into this gauntlet.
No, this is a need for the Steelers. And I'd like to highlight that a little bit. So
I
if
was
the
gonna say,
Steelers
can
win
you
this
read them
game,
off?
yeah. So Steelers need to win this game. Couple reasons. One, they're ahead of the Ravens right now. So as the NFL standings go, um, the Steelers are in first. They're a two-loss team. If they win this game, they'll be 7-2. The Ravens will be 7-3. The Ravens haven't had their bye week yet. You got all that kind of mess, but they'll be like a full game ahead of the Ravens. They win this game. Second thing is after this we go Ravens, Browns, Bengals, Browns. So four straight division games. Then we play the Eagles on Saturday night. Or no. Then we play the Eagles, which is a Sunday game. Then we play the Ravens on a Saturday night. Then we play the Chiefs on a Wednesday night. And then we finish the
Christmas.
season playing the Bengals. So
Yeah.
it sucks from here out. I mean, I know that the Bengals have a bad record, and I know that the Browns look like, a mess. Nothing is easy. The Browns are going to be two tougher games than usual. That are going to be physical. The Browns are going to play good defense. The Bengals are going to be tough. They're not an easy out in any way. The Ravens are the Ravens. That's a historic NFL rivalry. And you have the Chiefs and the Eagles as the two games that aren't within your division. That is a disaster schedule. And if we can get a win here, I think we feel like, okay, we only need to get 3 more wins to make the playoffs. We only need to get 4 more wins, 5 more wins to win the division. You don't have to, things seem less insurmountable. So, a little bit long winded there, but yeah.
Yeah. Another thing about that Chiefs game is you're gonna have like a fully healthy Isaiah Pacheco in that matchup.
Right. No, yeah.
You're gonna have Hopkins, who's been in there for 6, 7 weeks, knows the system really well. He's just a lock for a touchdown every week
Yeah.
probably. But
No, the Chiefs will be looking to kind of start clicking then. It's the week before the end of the season.
yeah,
Um, and it's a quick turnaround and it's a physical turnaround. I mean, Ravens, Eagles, Ravens to Chiefs, Browns, Eagles, Ravens. I mean, that's insane. I mean, the Bengals defense at least is bad. And I guess the Ravens defense is pretty bad, but it's going to be physical because it's Ravens Steelers. And that's a road game in Baltimore to come home to play the Chiefs on Christmas. I mean, it's an unfair. Between December 15th and December 25th, the Steelers will play three teams. Those three teams are the Eagles, Ravens, and Chiefs in 10 games, in 10 days.
who are all probably gonna have like 11 wins at that point at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
thank
tough,
God
man.
we have a good backup quarterback. That's
Oh,
all I'm going to say.
oh man. If Fields has to come back in,
No, it
maybe
sucks.
maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I don't
There
know.
is
I
there
feel
is
like
there is a world out there where the Chiefs are still undefeated by the time we get to the Christmas game and they just say, "We're good. We're not going to play that many games that quickly back to back. We're resting,
well,
guys."
nah, that's not gonna happen. Not on Christmas.
No, it'd be crazy. No, it's probably not, but that's what I'm telling myself. So just be
Taylor
like, "Yeah,
Swift's gonna
Charlie, it
be
could
there,
happen."
dude. You're gonna have to look at her every 10 seconds. Here,
Buddy,
Steenie. Up
I
in the
swear to God, if we lose by a field goal after like a Travis Kelsey big catch and then it's just all Taylor's, I'll break a TV on
No,
Christmas.
you won't lose by a field goal. You'll lose by like one or two. You'll lose two a field goal, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's an even better point.
yeah.
Yeah, I hate Patrick Mahomes. Um, he's a thief of joy. Um,
I hope the Steelers win this for you. Just
thank you.
just to be honest, because
Oh, dude, I wanted to ask
Commanders
you
are making the playoffs. You guys need
over
this win.
under over under my dad saying we can't stop anybody. What do you think? 8 times?
Oh, against the Commanders?
Yeah,
Is he aware of how good Jaden Daniels is?
he is. It, let me assure you something right now, Jalen. It doesn't matter if my dad knows how good the opposing quarterback is. If they get a first down, our defense is terrible.
Yeah, that's my new favorite thing is whenever a team gets a first down in the first drive, I was just think of like your dad being like, "We can't stop these guys."
Oh, dude,
The funniest shit ever.
it's remarkable. The Jets game was like the best. The most my dad example ever is halfway through the first quarter of the Jets game that the Steelers went on to win like 34-17 or something. My dad said, "Well, Charlie, I guess we just knew this wasn't going to be our year, huh?"
It's so good.
The team gets a first down. We can't stop anybody. Like, what? It's not
The over
1970, dude.
under. That's tough, man. How many? I don't know because I don't know how many times he says it.
Dude, I'll set it at 12.
That's pretty high.
You'd say
Um,
that. It's uttered under his breath quite often.
dude, he's not gonna know any of these receivers on the Commanders either.
Yeah, no. Who is that? Why is he killing us?
It's gonna be Zacchaeus, dude.
Oh my God! If it's Alameda Zacchaeus, he's gonna be pissed that he's doing it, and then he's gonna be pissed that I know who it is. Why do you know that?
Yeah, I'll take the over.
Right on. Okay, so you've got Commanders across with the over. I got Steelers across with the over. That can only mean that the over doesn't hit and it ends in disaster. Um,
Sure.
all right. This next game kind of blows just because I think that it's pretty cut and dry. It's Titans at Chargers. Titans have looked just miserable, and it's not getting any better. And the Will Levis experiment is over, and it's over in a big way. They're pretty much saying that it's more fun to have Mason Rudolph play. I know that they beat the Patriots in overtime, but that somehow feels like a loss. Uh, Chargers have been rolling. The offense is clicking, the defense is good. They have an identity, and I think that this has been talked about a lot. Big Cat's talked about it a lot because I know that he wanted Harbaugh, but it is obvious. There's real football identity in LA, and it's physical, which is kind of funny because they wear those very, very, very soft powder blue jerseys. But it's the Chargers -7, over under set at 38.5. Jalen, what do you think? I mean, I don't know.
Oh, it's actually 7.5.
What did I say?
You said 7.
Oh, it's 7.5. Yeah,
Massive difference there.
that's actually a big difference.
Um,
It's, it's
it's
not
not a
nothing.
difference for my pick. I'm not putting my points in the hands of Mason Rudolph. Um, and I think that the Chargers are, I don't know, they're kind of good, man. I
Mm-hmm.
can't lie, they're winning games, and like you said, they have an identity, and I like the way they're rolling right now. And 7.5 it's a lot, but they have a very good defense, and I think it's going to be hard for Mason Rudolph to move the ball against this team. And Harbaugh has no problem taking the points on kicks if he has to, and those are going to add up. I think it's probably going to end up Chargers win by 9 or 10. So
Yep.
I'm going to take the Chargers. And I'm taking the cover.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, and I know that the over under is 38.5, but just the way that the Chargers play and the way that the Titans can't score, I actually think the under is pretty enticing here.
Mm,
Um, the Chargers run the football and they run it well. And I know Herbert's starting to get the offense going from a passing standpoint, but it's not perfect yet. And I think that if this team goes up by 10 or 14 points, they're just going to run and try to get out of there. Um,
yep, Dobbin style.
Harbaugh's going to try to just kind of take the will out of the Titans until it's gone. And hammer the J.K. Dobbins. It's going to be a classic sort of, you know, 21 nothing game, get out of there, 21-3 game. So I'm going to take the Chargers to take it 7.5. I'm going to take the under.
Ooh, I like it.
Get a little risky. What the hell?
I mean,
Had such a bad week last week.
I don't think it's. I mean, the Chargers under isn't risky.
Yeah, that's true.
Vikings under, maybe.
Maybe a little bit.
I guess it's a Mac Jones under more, but
Yeah. It's more of a Mac Jones under. Um, Next game is, I mean,
can't wait for this.
this is ridiculous. Oh, I'm already mad. I haven't seen this line yet. Oh, this is outrageous. Jets are at the Cardinals. The Jets are favored by 1.5. The over-under is 46.5. Are we just living in a world where we're going to make the Jets the favorites every week when I don't think they deserve to be, only for them to prove me wrong and make me hate the team even more? I know that last week we spent an insane amount of time bashing the Jets, and then they went on to beat Houston, and I couldn't believe it. I can't believe this line even more. I know that the Cardinals are unpredictable. I know that Kyler Murray's unpredictable. I really don't care. Um, I'm going to take the Cardinals. I'm at home to win and beat the Jets.
Yeah, this is the line that got me in trouble against the Texans because I just thought there's just no way this team is better than the Texans, and they're not. But you know, miraculously, I learned that getting your shin down is a touchdown, but two of your feet, two of the same foot, is not. Um, yeah, I'm gonna be hate watching the Jets for the rest of the year unless I somehow maneuver a trade for Garrett Wilson. Then I'll probably start to pick them. But I, the Cardinals are. I think they're a pretty solid team. I mean, they beat the Chargers, Dolphins, and they beat the brakes off the Bears last week. Um, I don't know. I think they can. I think you can run against the Jets too, which
Mm-hmm.
like James Conner in this matchup. And I
Yep.
think the other backs on the Cardinals showed that they can run last week too, because they were just up by so much that they had like what's his name, DeMercado in, and he
Yeah.
busted off like a 50-yarder. So I like their running game against the Jets in this. Um, yeah, hate the Jets.
Yeah.
So go Cardinals.
Yeah. I hate the Jets too, and it's probably clouded my judgment a little bit on them, but at the same time, I don't know. I've watched that team every week. It's awful vibes all the time. I mean, I don't think we're crazy. They had ripped off 5 losses going into the Texans game, and they still barely like people are like, "Oh man, the Jets putting it together against it." They looked terrible in that game. It was a
Yeah, I
terrible
mean
game.
Nico Collins is out. Steph Diggs is out. They have like I didn't learn until kickoff. This is my fault, but I'm not really checking Texans injury reports for on defense every week, but I found out they're missing like 3 starters, and then Will Anderson went out at halftime, and it was just like everything went right for the Jets. And I don't know if they can get 2 weeks of that. If they can, then
Yeah.
I hate Las Vegas.
Yeah,
And
if they can,
something
I hate
weird's
Vegas.
going on.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, please, please, Kyler, please,
Just do it for me.
please, yeah, please just win this one. You can lose the next 7 if you want. You can lose to the Panthers if you want,
Yeah, we don't
but
care.
please win this one.
All right, next game, Cowboys, Eagles. A division rivalry, a game that people usually want to talk about for days on end. A storied rivalry, but holy cow, does this game just look like poop on paper right now? Eagles are 7-point favorites in Dallas. The over-under is 43.5. I mean, for the Eagles to be 7-point favorites against Dallas in Dallas, it says something about how bad things are because this is a rivalry game. This is a division game. Dak's not going to play for a couple of weeks. We're getting Cooper Rush. CD is questionable, although I think he'll play. The Eagles look like they're putting things together, and I think you were right a couple weeks ago when you said, the Eagles are actually a team that's coming back and playing good. So, um, I like the Eagles here, man. I like them to cover. I like them to win. I think things are going right in Philadelphia, and I'm not going to go against that.
Yeah, I think I like the Eagles. I like them to cover, and I actually think this is a pretty personal rivalry.
Yeah,
And I don't think that the Eagles are going to miss on their chance to beat the shit out of this team. So
I don't think so either.
I'm going to take the over in this as well.
Okay.
Um, I mean, AJ Brown's coming back. They'll probably be just dunking on this defense with Saquon all game.
Almost certainly.
It's a division game. It's the only thing. Well, actually, Cooper Rush is playing quarterback, isn't he?
He is.
Oh, I changed my mind about the over, but
Okay.
I think the Eagles are going to win by a lot.
Yeah, the Eagles are going to kill these guys, I think. This game could be over early.
Yeah, hopefully not because it's an afternoon game and there's only uh 3 of them. So I hope it's
Yeah.
I hope these games are kind of close.
Don't want to think about that. Don't want to think about that because it sucks. That would be a bummer. If this game was just awful immediately and I have to watch it because there's nothing else on. Because the other two games in this afternoon are the Titans and the freaking Chargers and the Jets and I mean, this is such a bad schedule from the NFL. They know I'll watch every minute of these games, so they don't care.
Yep. I'll
Um,
watch it because I have fantasy stock in the
for sure.
Eagles and the Cardinals, so I'll be watching these
It'll
games.
be dialed. Um, well, dude, we've made it to the Sunday night game, which I actually think is a good game. Could be better if Nico Collins is playing, but I don't think he's going to be back this week. It's Lions Texans in Houston. The Texans are coming off of a rough loss to the Jets, as we've just sort of addressed. The Lions are, they look unstoppable. They are on a roll. This is the best team in football right now, period. Um, whether it's Shamir Gibbs, whether it's Montgomery, whether it's Amon-Ra St. Brown, people talking they can't play in the weather. They play in the weather and they win. They're going down to Houston. Houston's a beat up, battered team. I think I told you this earlier, but this is a game that I wish was played in December. Not right now. I wish that Houston had all of its pieces together for the offense. But that's not the case. And Detroit's favored by 3 on the road, 3.5 actually. That's a big half point. Uh, Over unders 48.5. I like Lions. I like cover. I like over.
Okay. Um, After the way that the Texans looked against the Jets, I'm having a hard time putting any stock in their offense without Nico Collins. I think 3.5 is extremely low,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's a little disrespectful to what the Lions have been doing. Um, I think the Lions are winning probably by 10, to be honest. I don't think the Texans can put up enough points with what they have right now to keep up with this team. So yeah, I'm hammering the Lions. I don't know if I'll not pick the Lions for the rest of the year.
Yeah, they look so good. I hope they're not peaking too early. That would be the only problem.
Yeah,
Early peak.
they get JMO back this week from his I forgot what he
Whatever
got
was
in
going
trouble
on there.
for. PEDs, I think.
Yeah, that's weird. Because there
Nothing
was
about
also the
the gun.
legal thing.
Yeah, nothing about the
Nothing about
gun.
him jaw Moranting himself.
Did you hear what he said to the cop?
No, what did, oh, he said, I'm Jameson Williams.
He said, the cop said, "Is that a gun?" And he said, "Yeah, man, I live in Detroit. You know where we at?"
That's an amazing answer. That's an
Yeah,
amazing answer.
yeah. So it'll be good to see him back. These guys are
Yeah,
my
well,
rival. These guys are standing in my way in the NFC North, but and I'm not like I don't love this team, but I would say it's more of like an appreciation of watching this team because they every week they execute, they come prepared. I
hmm
think this team is a direct reflection of Dan Campbell. And I loved his quote after the game last week when he said, "We'll play in the snow, the rain, the mud. It doesn't matter." And I genuinely think everybody on that team feels the same way. And we saw Brian Branch get thrown out last week, and next man up. And like they're down Aiden Hutchinson. They did get what's his name on the Brown or they got someone from the Browns. What's his name? at the end.
Oh, what is this dude's name?
Zadarius Smith.
Yeah,
I think that's
yeah,
going to
yeah.
help. Um, he's a solid player. I like that they're going to have some edge help in this. I don't know how
Yeah,
much
he's a
he's going to
guy.
play, but yeah, this team is so good, and
I agree.
I'm cheering for them because I think they have a shot to beat the Chiefs. And if that means
Yeah, they
beating the
they're
Vikings
the
in the
best
way,
chance.
which they're probably going to do, I can live with it if they beat the Chiefs.
Fair. It's fair. Do you guys play them twice to round out the season? Is there, or you've
No,
already played them
just
this
one more
year?
time. Yeah, remember we
Yeah.
lost
Oh yeah,
31-29 on that
the face
kick.
mask game.
So that was the Rams.
Oh, the Rams was the face. Oh yeah, the Rams was the Thursday night game. This was the field goal game, right?
Yeah, this game was very, very competitive. Very good game.
Yeah,
Um,
that's right.
yeah, they're just a really good team.
They are. They're
There's
just a
nothing else to
very,
say.
very good team.
I love how they all like play with a chip on their shoulder too.
Oh, Dan Campbell has done a phenomenal job installing an identity into that team, and it feels very similar to the identity, not in a not in a physicality way, but in a like, hey, we deserve to be this good. We actually are this good, as what's going on in Washington. Um,
Yeah.
it's cool. It's cool. Dan Campbell's an awesome coach. I mean, holy cow. Um, what a diamond in a rough. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
they just they make it look so easy to score,
So
and
easy.
it's so impressive. I Like I said, I don't. It sounds like I love this team, but I really just love watching them play football because
Yep.
it's just perfect execution. It feels like every time.
Every
So yeah,
time.
I'm taking the Lions. I don't think it'll
Nice.
be that close. I hope we get a surprise that Nico Collins plays.
I do
Also,
too.
the
That'd be
Texans
cool.
are rolling out some new all red uniforms for this game.
Hate that.
So I don't know if the Lions are going to show up in their all black,
Oh, that'd be
but
sick.
it should be a nice look on TV because they're probably either going to be in all blue or all black for this, and the Texans are going to be all red. Their jerseys are pretty cool for this game, so should be fun to look at.
Yeah, should be a fun game to look at. Should be a reward for having to slog through what we have to watch right before it.
Yep.
Um, all right, final game of the week. This game means a lot to one of the teams, doesn't mean a lot to the other. Rams Dolphins. Dolphins. It sucks that Tua went out for as long as he did. It's happy. It's good to see him out there. Miami is so clearly so much better when he's playing. Um, the Rams are on a heater, 3 game win streak. Won a division game that meant a lot last week against Seattle. It's chaos in their division. It's chaos for that final wild card spot in the NFC. This is in LA. Rams are favored by 1.5. The over/under is 50.5. I'm kind of surprised by how little the Rams are favored by based on the way they've played recently. What are your feelings for the last game of the week?
My feelings are I think that the Dolphins are still being treated like they aren't a good football team. And I
Mm-hmm.
think they are with Tua.
Mm-hmm.
I know the Rams are rolling right now, and it's really hard to pick against uh, McVay when all of his players are healthy.
Yeah.
I kind of want to take the Dolphins. The Dolphins are going to win
It's
some games.
Well, this is a brother matchup too. You've got McVay versus his guy, right? Or no, he's a Shanahan guy. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, no. Well, they all coach together in Washington, all of them.
Yeah, I also think that we've been waiting for a Tyreek Hill game where he just explodes for,
Yep.
you know, 150 or something. And this Rams defense, you can light this defense up.
Yes, you can. Well, Jared
Um,
Verse has been good though.
yeah, but they have weapons, man. They have Waddle, they have Achan, they have obviously Tyreek Hill. They still have Mostert.
Mm-hmm.
I think Johnny Smith plays for them still, right?
Yeah. Yes, he
Yeah.
does.
I think I'm going to take the Dolphins.
All right, I like it. Mix it up.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not?
You going to Rams?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Rams. I like the Rams here.
Okay.
Well, well, that's a wrap on the week, Jalen. Uh, thank you for hopping on. Thank
Yeah,
you
it
to
was
Holly
fun.
for your editing. Holly's having a little bit of trouble with her editing software, so if the quality dips in the audio, it's because I'm editing it, and I apologize. Thank you to everyone who listened this far in. Um, that was fun, Jay. Thank you.
Yeah, do we have an update on any Minecraft football?
No Minecraft updates, guys. This is for the
Dang it.
very niche of the podcast. Holly hasn't sent me any of it recently, and so we're gonna have to bother her for that. But
Yeah.
I think that the trend might be dead already.
No, dude.
I
Pig State
know,
was
I
too
know.
traumatic.
It was the Pig State bombing was just it was too much. But yeah, good job, Jalen, and thank you for doing this. Always fun.
Yeah, you as well.
See you.